Welcome everybody to the Sunset Flip Wrestling Podcast, your home for all wrestling, everything wrestling. What's up, fellas? A rainy weekend it is. What's going on, y'all?
What's up? How's it going?
What's going on? Yeah, I haven't got that rain here yet, but look
Oh,
like it's
you
coming.
you'll get the rain all right.
No, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad.
I saw Central Park Zoo where the sea lion escaped, went a little farther. I've seen Brooklyn got hit pretty bad, so I hope everybody is safe at least.
Flatbush was flooded.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was
Yeah,
bad.
bad.
no, it was one of those.
And being from New York, I know how it is when disasters happen. So hopefully,
I don't even think it was a
everybody gets
disaster.
through
I
it.
think it was just like, more rain. Hey, what's going on, guys?
So I think I got 6 or 7 inches of rain, which is a lot.
That'll be it for a while, it looks like. And then we'll probably get some late before the snow comes.
But you know what? I don't mind it. I like the rain, so
Except for you taking the subway.
Yeah, a lot of subways got messed up right now. So
It was crazy.
we'll
But
see what happens.
enough of that. We don't, you know what I'm saying? We're New York. We got past it. We're PA, but we'll be past it. Let's get right into this. Let's get right into what we have going on today. Actually, this whole weekend in general. We got some No Mercy to talk about.
yeah,
Got
we
some
have.
previews. We got Russell Dream preview. There's a whole lot we got to break down.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, we'll start off with the breaking news of the week, something that uh we've all kind of predicted of happening, and it's officially happened, and that's Jade Cargill officially signing with the WWE.
Yep.
And you know what? This is a big deal. Because we've seen the potential that Jade Cargill has. We've seen what she's done in AEW. Now she goes to a bigger company in WWE, and
Right.
there's just so many fantasy matches ahead of her. So I'm really excited to see where this takes off. Will she start at NXT? Will she start at the main roster? Personally, in my opinion, I think NXT should be her first stop. I've always said that Jade Cargill, again, has the look, has the physique, has the mic skills. Now, the only thing that she needs working is her ring skills. And
Well, she never really had the proper training for that. She was sort of like a green talent coming in, but she proved herself beyond,
Undefeated. Well, was
well
yeah, I
undefeated.
mean,
beyond,
yeah,
well
week by
beyond.
week she's been improving, but I
Basically,
think
a la, I look at an example right now, Dominic Mysterio being another example. Basically, I think she's going to go the route of Dominic. I don't even think she's going to go to NXT. I think she go to main roster.
I think it, see, I think it's the perfect opportunity. If there's one superstar that I think should take the belt off Becky, that Becky losing the NXT title won't hurt her at all. Obviously, because Becky has made a name for herself.
Right.
But Becky losing the title to Jade Cargill, I think, would be a tremendous deal. And I think they should go that route.
Correct.
I think
Correct.
Jade,
But
yeah.
do you give the belt to somebody who hasn't really debuted it yet in the show, or do you have somebody debuted on the main roster and have them squash somebody that's big time
I
in
mean,
a big moment
there's
too?
ways to go about it. I mean, we've seen, Soraya when she was in WWE take over for AJ Lee. We've seen that
Yeah.
happen, and then vice
Yeah.
versa when they were AJ Lee back. You know what I mean? So there's that option. You can go with, going, like a Roxanne Perez route where you go slow and steady. So there's two ways you can go about it, or you just give her, run into a big feud already, whether she wins or loses, and not give her anything at all.
Well, the path of NXT looks like they're going to have a lot of women wrestlers that they see and the fans see as potential people to have title reigns. So yeah, we could throw a Jade Cargill in there, and then we're talking about the pay per view. Obviously, we still got Becky still going to be there because Becky said she wanted to work for NXT for a bit. You got Tiffany Stratton, can't dismiss her. One of Soto's favorites, Roxanne, can't dismiss her. Obviously, one name that we haven't seen in a long time, Cora.
And
So
Nikita, when she get back, but
yep. Don't
it's a
forget,
matter of time.
there's
You have a lot of
also
options.
Kiana James, there's Blair and Gigi, though the main prominent ones, and don't forget Thea too.
You can't go wrong here. If she goes to NXT, because she could just work with so many people.
She would
do
have a lot of
year,
people to feud. She would have a lot of people to feud with
and just do a
in
year.
NXT.
Win, lose it, whatever. Like you could just do whatever you want to do with her and let
It's interesting though,
that get taken
but
care of.
we don't know what brand she's going to go to. It sort of was teased yesterday, obviously, because we also have that they had that promotional ad shown on a show on SmackDown. So they basically showed her signing, touted it. I wonder if curious if I'm sure they're going to keep her name as Jade Cargill, sort of a la AJ Styles and a couple other people. I don't think they're going to change her name because you wouldn't promote somebody, in my opinion, as that name if you don't plan on keeping them as that name. So I think she's going to be as a name. And I know WWE's gotten away from letting wrestlers, keep their real name and do this and whatnot. But I think she might be an exception to the rule since she's one of their bigger signings. But what do you guys think about her potentially being on SmackDown?
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I think, again, eventually, all right, SmackDown right now is the brand that they're focused in on, right? WWE is high on, right? WWE is higher on SmackDown.
SmackDown
Raw,
might
right?
go to 3 hours too, and Raw might go to 2.
Right. So my thing is they've been promoting her, and I've never seen. I wouldn't say never, but I can't remember the last time I've seen WWE go all out for a free agent signing like this. I really can't remember.
The last big one I can remember, honestly, it wasn't AJ because AJ was just talked about.
Well, AJ was talked about. It was rumored, but I'm saying heavily promoted.
Kurt Angle. That's the last one. When he did the CNN interviews talking about WWE offering him a contract, that's the last one.
To be honest, not even that. I'm just saying, like, WWE has been salivating over signing Jade Cargill, and now they have her, right? And WWE is the place that Jade Cargill always wanted to go. She tried out, it didn't pan out. She made a name for herself in AEW, and she had a tremendous run. Now she's in WWE, and all she says, coming to WWE was an easy choice. For her because she wants to create a legacy. She wants to be in the Hall of Fame. So she knows that AEW for her was a stepping stone.
Jade Cargill she's a brand, basically. That's the best way to put it. She's a brand. She wants to brand herself. She wants to be one of the best all time. And for those fans who don't know, I know Soda knows and B knows because everybody, all of us are the whiz kids when it comes to wrestling. But so obviously Soda's a tier above us with a lot of stuff. But Jade Cargill was in. I don't think so. Now you're not boasting. But Jade Cargill is in the same training class as Bianca Belair, for those who don't know as well. So it's sort of a full circle for her. So.
Yeah, and isn't it ironic that Cody Rhodes, right? We're gonna bring Cody Rhodes into this. Cody Rhodes was
I was waiting for it.
one of the guys who helped establish and create AEW.
Correct.
It didn't pan out, and he went back to WWE. But Cody was one of the guys she mentioned helped that decision of her coming into WWE. Now, if she says that, who else?
Whoever wants to go and try new things.
Yeah, whoever wants to try new things. So, a name that again I'm going to mention. Ricky Starks, I think, is another guy who, with Cody, with Cody's advice and whatnot, I think I see him in a WWE ring as well. Some former WWE talent that went to AEW. I think Andrade. I think who else? Malachi Black. I feel like those two guys are on their way back to WWE at some point.
Don't forget Andrade too. That's another name that's been rumored.
Yeah, no, I mentioned Andrade. I said Andrade and Malachi Black.
The bigger, if Andrade and Malachi come back, that's cool. But the better options, the better insights of where you have those who were AEW first.
Right, AEW originals.
Yeah, that's because Cody was WWE originally. He will always be WWE. Went to AEW due to disagreements in decision making and whatnot, and then you have him doing his own thing, rebranding himself to being this elite talent went to All Elite, no pun intended, and now he's back in WWE as this superstar status, carrying
He sort of
shows upon shows.
Cody Rhodes, believe it or not, I consider his story sort of like a lot of other wrestlers that left and came back, but one that particularly stands out to me that sort of had a similar path and it's become huge. Drew McIntyre.
Drew's another one. Drew's a mid-card talent that couldn't get over the hump, left, rebranded himself, and then came back and
Came
now
back.
he's better than ever.
Came back more muscular, built, more established. Had to run in independent multiple promotions. Obviously, Impact, New Japan Pro, everywhere. Made
But
a
in
huge.
this
difference,
case, you have Jade,
Same thing Cody did.
who only knows AEW.
though. And she made a name for herself there.
Yeah.
60
So those who leave as an original will have a bigger impact because they left to go to a rival company.
But yeah, it's a big get for WWE. Forget it.
Everybody
So-
flip flops all the time. Like
so,
we've seen Jericho come back 1,000 times. We'll
Yeah.
never not like Chris Jericho no matter what. You know what I mean? Like we've seen that happen so many times. We've seen McFoley win
That's why I think
WCW.
Cody Rhodes is key. I mean, key in the sense that
He's the one that's gonna start a trend.
right. Well,
I said
he
this a
started
long
the
time
trend.
ago.
He started the trend, and I think he's going to be the bridge.
Yeah.
So he is going to be like any AEW originals who are unhappy with AEW. I'm pretty sure they'll probably reach out to Cody Rhodes the way Jade Cargill has and be like, "Well, how's life on the other side?"
And that's interesting for just in general because obviously all you guys think that MJF probably re-signed already, which we talked about a couple weeks ago.
They can't lose him.
They're not going to lose
MJF is-
it, but they
MJF
said
is absolutely signing with.
no. They
AEW.
said that, no. Something came out recently. I saw a comment. I think it was on Twitter that somebody said that WWE views Jade Cargill more as a big get than MJF in their
Yeah,
eyes.
because the women's division is also lacking, so that's a big plus.
Well, that's booking's fault and just different things that they
whether
push
it's booking or it's management, that's still a sign you need no matter what.
And don't forget, there's another signing that WWE hasn't officially announced, but we obviously knew and waiting for her to debut, and that could be as soon as next week, which was Kyrie too. Don't forget, she's in that mix too. Supposedly she re-signed with WWE. So
Re-signed or it's a new signing?
no, re-signed. She's back with them supposedly.
Oh, okay.
All I know is getting Jade Cargill. It's huge.
WWE has two big signings recently, one international and one here from AEW. So they're making moves. Everybody said, "Oh, they're going to be frozen because Endeavor." No, they're still making moves, and they got more moves planned.
Listen, unfortunately, all those cuts, it was because those superstars weren't being used, with the exception of Ali and Dana Brooke.
Well,
But-
Ali was sort of, I don't know if you guys heard the story, but it was sort of a blindsided thing that NXT officials were pissed about.
Right. No, but I'm saying like they were used at the time that they were cut. Now
Correct.
they still have money to get these free agents. Let me say if AEW or Impact, were to let go of a couple of wrestlers, WWE would keep the eye on that. And
we already know who WWE's next big sign is going to be. It's Beast Boy is going to be coming back probably at some point.
that's a major possibility.
Well, they teased it. You saw that with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins teased it.
Yeah, they teased it, and they teased it with Cody. So I mean, listen, the possibility of CM Punk to WWE, I'm not gonna say it's 100%, but it went from like
It's likely, and it's very likely he might end up being
And guess what though?
NXT as well.
And guess what though? He came back and mended the bridges with a lot of people. Jade Cargill likes CM Punk. She said numerous times that he was nothing but helpful for her at her time in AEW.
hey, Shawn Michaels recently vouched for CM
Yes.
Punk.
Yes.
So what is he gonna say about everybody
and-
else then?
and-
This is validating my point.
And one more
Those
name.
who don't like him, but a lot of people do like him. A lot of people at higher ups and high levels in the wrestling world vouch for CM Punk.
And there's one more
Especially
name
now,
that-
probably the biggest women's free agent who just signed a WWE also backs CM Punk.
So if CM Punk was to come back to WWE realistically,
That's all I gotta say.
which we all think is a high possibility now, especially since Survivor Series is in Chicago. Correct me if I'm wrong, right?
Yeah.
So what if that's a bridge for AJ to come back? I know she said she doesn't really want to do anything major, but if you guys seen Heels, She still got in the ring. Period.
Yeah, no. I mean, listen, it's all possible. That's why with like I would say never say never.
Wrestling
Like,
is wrestling is exciting. Let's just put it that way.
if WWE were to get CM Punk, again, that would be just as big as deal as Jade Cargill, even bigger, because it's like after 10 years, you never thought CM Punk would return to the company that you could say did him dirty, you know?
They did each other dirty. He did them dirty, and they did each other. He did them.
And
dirty.
Man, they did him worse.
And
That's how
with
getting fired on your wedding day.
Yes,
and
that's wrong. But
and
they apologized for that.
there were rumors that he was trying to essentially find his way back to WWE as early as this year. He was trying to work
He
a
apologized
program
to a lot of people.
with Kevin Owens.
That's the rumored name that is in for Big 2024, which has been on a lot of different dirt sheets like PWI. A lot of different people have reported that KO is in for a big 2024. So I wonder if that's what's in the cards for him. CM Punk versus a KO feud.
That works.
And also a KO would probably possibly be turned heel. So I just think of the old ROH days. Just think of Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens versus CM Punk.
Could be.
That would be.
Going back to Jade Cargill, the options are endless. You have basically the entire women's NXT roster, which all are going to be elite, like top tier talent within 5 years. Let's just call it how it is.
Right.
We don't know how long Charlotte's going to be around. Becky, now she's a mom, and we've seen how that worked with a lot of other female talents. You can go on Lacey Evans. Granted, it's not the same town, but she's a mom, and now her career is different now that she's gone. But she's a mom. She's a parent. Life changes a lot doing 200, 300 something days on the road. So that's one concept.
Right.
If she goes to Raw, you have plenty of people to work with. You work long storylines with. SmackDown, same thing. More notably, Bianca Belair.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of
because of the lack of production from the women's division, not from a talent perspective, but from a storyline perspective, you can patch her in 3-month programs with anybody. And by the time she's all said and done, that's like 4 years worth of projects.
Yeah.
I think real quick before we go to the next segment, I think for me, the top 3 superstars that make the most sense for a feud with Jade Cargill is Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, and Rhea Ripley.
Yes.
Those 3
probably
are the
Charlotte
ones.
3rd, Ripley 2, Bianca 1.
Well, Bianca 1 would be interesting because obviously coming from the same training class would be.
But they're 2 powerhouse wrestlers. That's just like one. And Rhea's the champ, so it's like you can go do a lot of different ways with Rhea as champ. And then Charlotte Flair, because Charlotte Flair is Charlotte Flair.
Yeah. Also, don't forget Raquel as well is also a powerhouse too. So that would be interesting. Too.
But I'll go with those 3 first.
Somebody was saying that she might feud with Nia Jax. I was like, please.
Nia Jax would work too, but
please.
It could work. I mean, Nia Jax is taking out the women's division, and who knows? Like
she's
somebody
supposed to, which is what we
and
want to see.
Jade could be kind of like the savior of the women's division. Who knows?
Jade is coming in as a face. There's no chance in hell she's coming in as a heel. No chance.
I give you 3 heels just like that. 3 top
killed it
heels
as a
to work
heel.
with.
She killed it as a heel in AEW, and
She did.
I wouldn't mind it.
Do you want to introduce her to a new audience with her being a heel?
I mean,
I don't really care either way.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, it's regardless. Face or heel, it works.
As long as she comes in and gets put in productive situations,
Agreed.
not like in comparison how the OC was done when they first came to WWE. Then when they came back, now they're being treated the same way. Just jobbing matches. Just don't do that.
They're definitely not
show
going to
some
do that with
respect
Jade.
and do what you're supposed to do.
There's no way.
But speaking of heel, let's talk about the heel profits.
I
the
like
Street
it. I'm with
Profits.
it. I don't know what Lashley means by him not working with the product. I think it's a swerve because that means you rush the entire storyline between him, the Profits, and everybody else.
Well, we saw a whole different version of the Street Profits on SmackDown last night, and listen, I like it. I like it. Now it's.
I'm all pro Profits. So I said that before. And I'll say that again. That's my take for the episode.
Listen, a new aggression, and I feel like a couple weeks ago, we had the Street Profits kind of stare down Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. I think that's going to lead to something, but here's the thing: I don't know if it's going to lead something with KO and Sammy. I think it's going to lead something to them and those tag team titles.
Yes, supposedly they're trying to split the tag team titles at some point between Raw and SmackDown again.
Yeah, it's hurting the brand. Like split the titles already, and then Bobby Lashley could go after the U.S. title.
Yeah, I agree. And then it was interesting that they had the heel profits. I'm gonna call them the heel profits because that's what they are now. Featured so much yesterday on SmackDown, so it seems like they're trying to establish them as sort of this dominant team with Bobby Lashley in tow. Obviously, a couple events happened between that and the Bloodline in there as well, where we saw Mia Yim slap the soul out of Jimmy Uso.
Yeah,
that was such a perfectly timed thing, and then they had the heel profits in that moment too. Right after it was like holy shit! Like she literally slapped the soul out of him, and then all of a sudden you get the heel profits. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but
if anybody caught that's been the meme talk of online, the just slapping the soul out of him.
I love this change of character for the Street Profits, because it's like, they went from being, these crowd favorites to now all suits serious, aggressive, and now they just mean business.
I think the more serious one out of them, though, I'm gonna throw it at you. I think Angelo seems more serious now than Montez.
Because everybody takes him to be the weaker one of the two, and they pretty much go hand in hand.
I have Montez significantly above
the Street Profits.
Dawkins,
you need one to have the other. So everybody sees Montez as the bigger prospect, but it's like, yo, don't forget, it takes two to tango.
Yeah, no, but I love. I guess you could say the progression of Dawkins, because Dawkins,
he was always more of the goofy one in the group, but now he's more of the serious one.
Right.
Like you see him just come out, his face is like, it's almost like his face, how his demeanor changed. So it reminds me of like how Ken Shamrock used to come out just like with the straight face, serious demeanor, just wanted to beat the shit out of everybody, and then that's it. That's how I see Dawkins coming out. I don't know if I'm not comparing the two, but just the straight face more.
I mean, if you call Dawkins Ken Shamrock, that's a very good compliment.
Yeah, just the seriousness of like his character. I think like how he's coming out. Like I don't know if I know y'all been watching it, but if you see, like he's had more of the serious demeanor to his face in recent weeks since the heel profits have been teased for a while, and now we're full-fledged heels.
Yeah, I'm pro profit, so whatever goes on, I support. Good, bad, and different.
So I think it's interesting.
From the beginning,
it's interesting. Now it would be interesting for future, obviously, with them. What happens?
Yeah, no, the tag team division needed a spark. It's been kind of like I don't want to say stale, but it kind of has been stale for a bit. And what I think Henry just said, like these titles need to be split up ASAP. Because
talks of a Survivor Series. That's the rumor I've been seeing online a lot of.
And that's perfect, because it just holds teams hostage. It's like, all right, Judgment Day, they have both titles, but if they have the one title and then the other title, they lost that like SummerSlam.
Here's the thing:
like,
they're gonna rebrand the titles.
SummerSlam, Survivor Series.
They're gonna rebrand the titles. No, you're good. They're gonna rebrand the titles, sort of how they did in the future, like the past with how they did the World Heavyweight, and then they have, they got rid of, not retired, but sort of changed the name of the Universal title. Or not. So now they're going to do that with the tag titles, probably like the World Tag Team titles and then another name. And then the other rumor I saw per different sources online was that like PW, I forget who I was, Zero, a whole bunch of people talk about it, is they want to add like weight classes to it, possibly sort of like a la UFC style.
Well, they had it before. They had the 2 heavyweight championships. They had the light heavyweight. They had the cruiserweight. So
they want to do a trios. They want to do a trios tile.
I think that'd be more appeasing.
I'm for trios.
They want to do a trios tile, but their trios tile wants to be done differently than AEW. So theirs wants to be more of 2 men and a woman. So sort of having like a team like that. But then that would help teams sort of like, if you think about it, the Viking Raiders, Alpha Academy, and whoever else you have out there that has, a women manager and then 2 male wrestlers. That would help.
The Street Profits and Bianca.
Yeah, you think the OC, you can get Carl Anderson,
Yeah.
Mia Yim. So it could be done, and it could be done differently than AEW, which would be an interesting thing. But I don't know about like weight divisions and weight classes, because then you're talking about sort of like if a wrestler is this weight, they have to stay in this thing, they can never go for that title. I don't know how I feel about that, because
there's a lot of options.
Rey Mysterio is always the biggest
If
underdog.
it's a weight class, don't put the weights. Just put this category. Like, hey,
correct.
This is what we're doing. Like light heavyweight and hardcore were great championships to have with people who weren't doing the heavyweight scene, and those championships were people who weren't like who didn't get a chance to do the main event scene. Were doing those matches.
I'm gonna say this: Hurt Business 2.0. We got the heel profits, soon to be probably Bianca Belair once her heel turn is finalized, and possibly the one name they've been teasing to join along with them, and I think it's going to happen, is a turning heel again, Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah, I mean,
it's been teased. I don't know.
That would be a perfect fit
if you haven't seen it, but it's been teased, and there's been some friction between him and Trick. I think Trick is going to be more face, even though I do like Trick, and he's super over. So,
yeah,
he's another one that's improved.
That's something we have to keep an eye on. Also, what happened on last night's SmackDown was John Cena's mystery partner finally revealed.
Yeah.
So it was supposed to be AJ Styles, but AJ Styles got attacked by Solo. Well, not Solo. More of Jimmy.
Well, both of them. I would say both of them. Really,
I guess you could say this version of the Bloodline. So now it's going to be Solo and Jimmy Uso against John Cena and L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
Did any of you guys catch the what's it called? Kevin Patrick. Everybody was shitting on him on Twitter about calling a neck breaker his finishing move, the blunt force trauma. Kevin Patrick, the announcer from
who?
Yeah, he called his move wrong, and everybody got mad.
We don't care about him, bro. We care about the consensus.
Yes, but my thing is also as a wrestling fan, if we know what a neck breaker is, which I think all 3 of us know what a neck breaker is, compared to what his finishing move is. What? I can't. What am I gonna show you with?
I don't know. Grab a pillow.
But
wrestlers fighting broomsticks.
Yes, but what I'm trying to say is we basically know what a neck breaker is, correct? All 3 of us, we should know. To call his move is basically his blunt force trauma move, and mistake it for neck breaker for that's a big thing for me too. Just because, in terms of storytelling for wrestling, us 3 like storytelling for wrestling, and basically it was a big pop for LA Knight coming out, being revealed as Cena's partner, obviously signing the contract, but to call his move the wrong thing, it's like you got to do better. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Yeah, we do not care.
I think LA Knight being John Cena's partner, it is a big deal.
Correct.
This just leads me to believe that LA Knight is possibly next in line.
Push to the moon.
Or pretty soon we'll have a date with Roman Reigns.
He is. So is AJ.
I think AJ gets first crack.
He is. That's the first program. AJ and him, and then LA Knight's the second one. That's what I've heard.
Yeah. So, I'm all for it because this is pretty much all about LA Knight. John Cena doesn't need this, and Solo and Jimmy, they don't need this. It's LA Knight. It's trying to elevate LA Knight to another level, which you're getting the endorsement from John Cena, and now you're getting a potential main event scene or storyline. And this is a major storyline. This is a bloodline storyline.
Listen, I can't. I'm just gonna say this. I cannot wait for this match, but I just can't wait to what unfolds with the bloodline. We got the bloodline, Judgment Day, Cody. It's just so much going on with this, and I can't wait for Survivor Series, because this is going to pop off into what happens in Survivor Series, guaranteed.
To be honest, yeah, there's
me
a
the
lot
Rock.
of there are a lot of pieces to this Bloodline storyline. For me personally, it's Jimmy Uso. It's getting that Jimmy Uso versus Jay Uso down the line, but the focus here on SmackDown with Jimmy Uso kind of like acting as if he is the tribal chief,
Right.
and running things. Him and Solo basically taking out the
Anybody see Solo's
roster.
mannerisms? I don't know if y'all been catching the mannerisms with
It's
Solo.
Umaga-esque.
It looks like he's getting, I would
Tired.
say, tired of it and
He's
annoyed.
getting annoyed. Yeah.
He almost broke character yesterday. I don't know if y'all saw it on TV when Mia Yim slapped the soul out of him.
I'm
Like
not
I
gonna
saw
lie.
I saw a smirk go up here, but then he just had to like sort of like stop.
Like Jimmy sold that.
Bro,
Jimmy,
and she did a fantastic job doing nailing it too.
yeah.
Because the placement had to be on point. And you hear his reaction after like I don't think they were supposed to happen. He's like, damn girl. I was cracking up where he
But
did
yeah,
that. He said,
listen,
oh,
when
man.
LA Knight came out, again, huge pop.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And you know, I'm all for it. You know, I love this tag team. You know, the fact that you're having LA Knight team up with one of the greatest of all time in John Cena against Solo, and Jimmy. It's a beautiful thing that we're going to be witnessing, and I just wish that we get to see a solo match with John Cena. Because it kind of reminds me of John Cena's days against Umaga, you know, and I kind of want to relive that storyline because John Cena and Umaga had a great feud,
Correct. They
you
did.
know, back then.
What, 6 months?
It might
I
have
can't
been longer.
remember how long, but
It
they
might have
had
been longer.
but they had a great feud back then.
They had a
and
long,
it's just
long rivalry, those two.
yeah, you kind of relive that. You can relive that with Solo. So,
And I want to touch on something that you said, Soda, too, about, you said the Jimmy and Jay Uso. We're going to get a taste of that come Survivor Series, I think.
yeah, I think we're gonna. It's gonna be different.
And I can't wait because the tension between all these teams that is going to be in Survivor Series and is building up more is going to make for a good show. Probably
yeah.
one of the better shows this year. I'm just going to throw that out there now.
Yeah, so I mean, the seeds are planned for that match, and then we're probably going to get a moment at Survivor Series, as you said. We're probably going to get a moment at the Royal Rumble where one eliminates the other. I believe,
And there goes
Jay,
your Mania match.
yeah, I believe Jay eliminates Jimmy.
And just to touch on the War Games matches and whatnot for Survivor Series. Remember, we get 2 War Games matches. So we were talking about previously before a way to debut Jade. That'd be another way to possibly debut her in a War Games match as a mystery partner.
Yeah,
Could be.
Another possible way.
So-
I didn't think of that until now. So yeah,
So we all know that tonight it is NXT. No Mercy.
one of the greatest video games ever made. No Mercy. If you ever had an N64, just to throw that out there.
It really was one of the greatest games. What do they have? They have 6 matches on the card. Well, 7 with the pre-show. So I'm gonna go down the card real quick. You guys, give me your predictions. So
Sure.
Blair Davenport versus Kalani Jordan.
Davenport wins.
I think Kalani wins. I think Gigi's in the course of the match.
I'm with you on that one, Henry. We have the Fatal 4-Way match for the NXT Tag Team Championships. It's the family, Tony D'Angelo and Stax versus the Creed brothers versus Humberto Carrillo and
Haven't heard that
Angel
name
Garza.
in a long time, man.
Yeah, word. Versus OTM.
Family.
Yeah, I feel like the family hasn't had much.
I think the family's going to win too, but
There's no need for them to lose right now.
I think they're going to make OTM look big in this match. I will say that.
Well, it's funny you should say that because I was watching them last episode of NXT, and I'm like, they're still pretty relatively new. They have potential,
Right.
but they could be major players if booked properly.
They're gonna make him look. They're gonna make him look big in this match to elevate them. I think they're not
Yeah,
gonna win, but they're gonna make him look good.
I'm really stuck between the family and Carrillo and Garza because the way the vignettes of Carrillo and Garza, I was like, all right, they're probably gonna try to elevate them.
They're gonna elevate them too. That's another team I didn't.
Yeah, so I mean, but then again, it's like the family hasn't had. Listen, when the family won the tag team titles, I was happy for them, but they haven't done much with the tag titles.
So right now, the family's sort of a tweener too. I don't think they're full-fledged faces, but I don't think they're full-fledged heels. Yeah. Obviously, the family's expanded. Obviously, right now they have more people debuting with them in the future.
So we're all in agreement with the family, right?
Yeah, 100%. I don't see any other, but other teams will be made look good than that. So that's what we agree to.
We have the NXT Heritage Cup match: Noam Dar versus Butch.
I want Butch to win this, but I think Noam Dar is gonna retain.
I say Butch, and for the reasons of metaphor, the entrance is insane. I'm gonna throw that out there. I really do. I really do enjoy their entrance. It is fire, but I think they're over already as a established team, and I think they're trying to push Butch again. Pete Dunne, aka Pete Dunne.
He needs to win more. Pete Dunne.
They need to bring it back. So if he wins, that's a big boost for him and whatnot. So I think it would be him, but it wouldn't be wrong if Noam Dar won either. So I'm gonna go. I'm 50-50 on this one. To be honest
I'm 50-50 on this one too. I guess I'll lean a little bit more towards Noam Dar, as much as I want Pete Dunne to win. But yeah. Then we have the NXT North American Championship match with Dragon Lee as a special guest referee. Dominic Mysterio versus Trick Williams.
This is where I have a feeling Dom might actually lose because of the situation with DragonLee. So I'm going with Trick.
Yep, me too. And I think I'm going with Trick because of the way they've been establishing him, the way they've been building him up, and whatnot.
Ever since he got that walkout on that one episode not too long ago, I was like, oh well, this is about to be a change of pace for this man now, and look where he's at now.
He is white hot right now, and you gotta keep it going.
I just feel like there's going to be a major swerve here.
It could be,
and as much as it kind of seems like obvious that Trick Williams might win, well, I think that's funny because the odds are in Trick Williams' favors. I think I'm going to go with Dominic Mysterio here. They're doing this storyline with Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes.
I was just going to say something about that.
Which I think Trick Williams will eventually go after Carmelo Hayes.
A heel Carmelo Hayes, not a face Carmelo Hayes.
I don't know. I can't really. I don't really know.
I think Melo's mannerisms have been more heelish lately, and I think Trick's has been more face. I don't see it making sense if you're talking about storytelling purposes, where you would have Melo be the face and Trick be because it seems like Melo's been sort of distancing himself and on the phone and saying, "Oh, this and that, blah blah blah," saying, "Oh, I don't, mind Street Profits doing what they're doing," and making comments like that. That's not really something a typical face would make.
I see it two ways. I see it as Trick Williams gets jealous that Carmelo Hayes is a champion and he's not, and goes after Hayes. Or you can do a face versus face in Trick Williams versus Carmelo Hayes. Let's say Trick Williams beats Carmelo Hayes and then Carmelo Hayes turns heel.
Or you could get a situation like you said, where some type of swerve where Trick asks Melo, come down to help me in the ring just to keep an eye on things to make sure you don't get no shenanigans from Judgment Day. And then Melo sort of ghosts him and doesn't come down and helps him, and he loses the match to Dominic Mysterio. I could see that happening too.
Yeah, or let's say if Judgment Day comes,
he's on his phone. He's on his phone saying he's handling business like he did last time. He said he forgot to come down and lost track of time. And he apologized. And Trick said, "You're supposed to be my boy," and that's where it sort of leads to a match of one being a heel, one being a face.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Braun Breaker versus Baron Corbin.
Braun Breaker. Get Corbin the fuck out. You know what? Corbin should have got cut. I'll say that now.
Damn, Corbin. Listen, Corbin is actually
believe it. Baron Corbin. Next,
I have a question. What did Baron Corbin do to you?
a lot of things.
Well, let's elaborate because you have so much hate for Baron Corbin.
Being signed to WWE.
Damn.
Next,
Listen, he is, first of all, yes, Baron Corbin's character is a little stale, but
a
he is
little.
also-
They tried to make it the JBO 2.0. How'd that
listen,
work out?
yeah, well, that's booking. Again, that's not really on him. But listen, he, believe it or not, he is one of the workers that a lot of wrestlers request to work with because he is one of the safest in the ring.
That's
And
cool.
he also makes a lot of people look good in matches. So that's why people like working with him.
That's cool. When's he gonna look good?
That's up to booking.
But that's
They had
not-
him looking good when he was
That's
the lone
that's
wolf.
actually out of his control.
Hey man, look.
When
They
he was
gave
the
him-
lone wolf, his
they
best
gave
one.
him-
That's not his control.
Yeah, they give him whack ass gimmicks, and then
Lone Wolf Corbin was the man. This Corbin now, what was it? Wait, sad Corbin, happy Corbin. Yeah.
I mean,
Happy
but
Brown's
that's
gonna get bumped out. Yo, enjoy Impact, Papa. Go
again. You're gonna
go.
have to,
Groundbreaker.
he's doing whatever he has to do, but
Good. Do what you're supposed to do.
he's trying to
not
come
making me
back.
happy.
He's
And
trying to
go
come back
go
to the old.
go to Impact. You know what I'm
Lone
saying?
Wolf.
Groundbreaker wins this.
Yeah,
all right,
of course we
so
know that already.
Breaker sweep. All right. Extreme Rules match for the NXT Women's Championship: Becky Lynch versus Tiffany Stratton.
Stratton's not getting it yet. Becky Lynch retains.
I do see some outside. I do see some outside interference between the Kiana James. Obviously, she's gone after Becky, and I see
And
sort
Lyra.
of and Lyra trying to aid Becky. So I sort of see that being a possibility as well. So, but I think Becky retains here. I think they have a longer path of who's going to be future champion. I think the next champion after who dethrones Becky is going to be somebody who has not been champion yet.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm going with Becky Lynch here. I feel like, to be completely honest with you guys, this is the match that I'm looking forward to the most. Not only because it's an Extreme Rules match, I just kind of want to see more of Tiffany Stratton because Tiffany Stratton is slowly becoming one of those individuals that checks all the boxes. And she's a future superstar in the making. So
I think she's almost there. Honestly,
yeah,
she's almost ready for the main roster.
She's truly almost there. And I feel like with a loss here, Tiffany might be on the way to the main roster. Who knows? I mean, I don't think there's much left for her to do. But
a hell of a match. I can't wait for it whenever it happens. Would be Charlotte Flair versus Tiffany. That would be
I'm sure it'll happen down the road.
Absolute clinic of wrestling.
Yeah, and the fact, how athletic Tiffany Stratton is, the way she can perform a swanton bomb and a moonsault. She's just not a simple pretty face. No, she can actually wrestle. So, so shout out to her. And then the main event, the NXT Championship match, Carmelo Hayes versus Dragunov.
Dragunov, I'm going to be different. Dragunov has been pushed to the moon and different things like that. And it would be interesting to see Dragunov as champion because he's had taste of it and hasn't got it. And he's changed his look. He's changed his demeanor. And a lot of different things that he's done recently. I'm going to go Dragunov this time. I'm going to change it up.
So I thought of another scenario, right? Where real quick before we move on, Trick Williams might win the NXT the NXT North American Championship, and Carmelo might lose here, and then Carmelo kind of gets jealous of Trick Williams. That's a possibility here.
That's also that's a heel turn. There you go. Another reason.
That's possibly here heel turn. I really don't know where to go here. I'll go Carmelo Hayes. Because I feel like eventually we might see that Carmelo Hayes versus Trick Williams. So I'm going with Carmelo Hayes here.
And one more
but
thing.
I wouldn't be surprised if Dragunov won. I wouldn't be surprised.
Before you move on, there's two matches I forgot we mentioned during the here about NXT that I forgot to mention something. Don't forget for the Braun Breaker Baron Corbin match, there's also the Von Wagner element that we're forgetting about. Obviously they took him out, but there's that element. Don't forget that. And then when we talked about the Blair match, don't forget Gigi and her have that tension, so that could happen. And then there's other people involved in that feud too. So there's multiple paths that could happen during a lot of these matches. So we might get a match tonight with a lot of different swerves. We might get a pay-per-view with just a shit ton of swerves.
As you as most wrestling fans know, tomorrow is Wrestle Dream. So we're quickly going down the card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8, 10 matches. I'll quickly go down the card, and you guys give me your predictions real quick. So you have the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Bros versus Hook and Orange Cassidy versus the Guns. Winners get a future AEW tag team title shot.
The Guns?
The Guns, okay.
You know, it's funny. I was actually thinking the Guns too. They need that push against us, Adams. So I was thinking that too.
Cool. I'm going with the new tag team of Hook and Orange Cassidy.
That was my 1B. That team. So
Yeah,
I was between the Guns and them. So I don't hate that.
There's a lot of options to go with.
Ricky Starks versus Wheeler Yuta.
Ooh, that's a hard one.
I'm
Give me
going with
Yuta.
Ricky. B's going with Yuta. I'm going with
You know what? Ricky's been pretty over, but I'm gonna go with Yuta too.
Okay. For the strong open weight and Ring of Honor World Championships, you have Eddie Kingston versus Shibata.
Kingston. There's no way Eddie loses right away.
Yeah, there's no
Kingston.
way Eddie. If Eddie Kingston loses both titles here,
That whole greatness run he's had goes for nothing if he loses.
Yeah, it's Kingston. There's no
Um,
if they book him to lose, that is probably the worst booking decision of the year.
yeah. We have Chris Statlander versus Julia Hart for the TBS Championship.
Ooh.
And this is hard because if I'm not mistaken, is Julia Hart undefeated?
Yes. Recently, yes. I'm gonna go Julia Hart.
I'm going Statlander.
As much as I like Statlander, I think Julia Hart, just the way they've been booking her.
She just got it, so
I'm going with Statlander here. Yeah. I'm going with
Unless we get
Statlander.
some interference and Julia Hart wins, but Statlander retains. I could see that happening too.
Brian Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr.
Oh, God,
this is tough.
I can't wait
I'm
for that
gonna go with
match.
Danielson.
I'm gonna go with Zack Sabre.
I feel like this is the start of Danielson's retirement tour, so I'm going with Danielson. Swerve Strickland versus Hangman Adam Page.
I want Strickland to do something, but Hangman Page's about to smoke him, so I'm going Hangman Page.
I'm gonna go Swerve. I think he needs more of the push since
I was just about to say that. I think Swerve needs this the most.
Hangman's already established.
Hangman absolutely gains absolutely nothing from winning. In fact,
Isn't he part of the
in fact, he'll probably get more
higher
heat
ups
for winning.
It don't matter. Yeah, but that higher up hierarchy, that's another topic for another day. But he doesn't need. I'm gonna go with so. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree 1,000% what you're saying. But for booking purposes, it needs to be Swerve.
We see Soto's had a lot of questions and complaints the past
No, I agree. I
5 pay-per-views by
I
AEW
1,000% agree with you, B, with that.
Hangman
1,000%.
Page.
FTR versus Aussie Open for the AEW Tag Team Championships.
FTR.
FTR.
Yeah, I don't see.
You thought that gun charge was going to stop him? Hell no. Hell no.
But
FTR
Aussie Open's gonna give him a match. So let's go with that.
Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega and Ibushi versus Takeshita Guevara and Will Ospreay.
The Don Callis family is going to win. Ain't no way you unite this group to not do anything.
No, I think Chris Jericho's at a point where he likes putting over wrestlers and establishing stars.
And so has Omega. Omega has put over Takeshita twice.
Yes, I think part of it is also Omega hears a lot of the noise that everybody says that he's
And
looking out
let's
for
not
himself.
forget the best wrestler in AEW is probably going to get the pin for the win. Will Ospreay.
Okay. I'm thinking Guevara picks up the pin over Jericho.
Yeah,
You
so
think
trying to
so?
build him
Just
up.
put
They're
a statement on this whole like "fuck you." I'm on
Yeah.
my own now.
Pretty much.
Good point.
This
Guevara.
one, MJF in a handicap match defending the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships against the Righteous.
So I'm gonna say this now. If actually I lied. when MJF does this whole thing, it's gonna be even bigger statement on the fact that like, oh no, I'm untouchable in the business today.
So you're going with MJF.
I'm gonna reach and go to MJF.
I'm
2-on-1s, it'd be like
I'm
that.
going with MJF as well.
Me too. I don't see him losing it. He is insanely hot right now in AEW. He is one of the hottest storylines. Him and Adam Cole.
Some of them, I'm waiting for the whole Adam Cole. Where were you?
Well, we'll get to that in a second. And then the main event: Christian Cage versus Darby Allin for the TNT Championship.
Not only will Christian Cage win and talk about somebody's dead dad or dead mom, Edge is going to show up
Yeah, they've been teasing that for a minute.
as Adam Copeland.
Yeah. So if you really look at this, Darby has the numbers game. Darby has Nick Wayne and he has Sting.
Oh, do we
Christian
forget about
Cage-
the Nick Wayne about to get slapped around like a pubescent child against Luchasaurus today? You forgot about that.
Christian Cage has Luchasaurus, right? And we've heard a lot of rumblings about AEW or Edge heading to AEW being closer than ever, and his contract with WWE is up right before Wrestle Dream.
Today, it's his last day.
Today, right? And they have already removed Edge from the intros, from the internal roster. I think we see Edge. I honestly, I think that major debut that they kind of been teasing, it's Edge. I mean, listen, I think
It is.
AEW,
But they also teased other debuts too, so let's not forget
no.
that too.
But here's the thing: AEW absolutely loves doing Easter eggs, and one Easter egg that Christian Cage mentioned that I mentioned in the last podcast has said, "Oh, I didn't have my original tag team partner with me or my normal tag team." And I feel like tomorrow that's going to happen.
It's going to be Edge.
Yeah,
As Adam Copeland. I think Edge is copyrighted by WWE.
correct.
Now,
Is it?
Now-
Yeah. So Adam Copeland and Christian Cage will be teaming up,
Yeah.
yeah.
and
And
then
then,
Luchasaurus gets the bump.
Let's talk about. I think one of the things that was most talked about was the ending to AEW Dynamite, the cliffhanger.
So
So
MJF
af-
did it.
So after the whole Swerve Strickland and Hangman Adam Page segment, they cut to the back where you see 4 individuals attacking Jay White, who earlier that night confronted MJF, and watching was the 4 individuals attacking Jay White, but then there was one watching, so there was 5 in total, and that one individual had the iconic devil mask that is used by MJF.
Right.
Now, I ask you guys, who do you think is in that devil mask?
A lot
MJF.
of people online were saying it was between Adam Cole and Edge, but I don't see it being Edge since he's going to be there with Christian. I think people were saying it's Adam Cole, and I don't know how it can be if he has the broken ankle, unless it's a fake injury and they're just.
I think it's work. Real quick, I think it's a work. And I even made a video, and I posted it. I think the one behind that devil mask is either 3. There's 3 options, right? I think it's Adam Cole. It could be either Britt Baker or Maria Kanellis, right? Or it could be Edge, right? If Edge does not show up for Christian, then I'm leaning more towards Edge. But let's break this down real quick. Adam Cole, I think, has been faking this ankle injury, and I think one of the guys that attacked Jay White strongly resembled Roderick Strong.
So you think he's going to bring back his original faction from when he wrestled before?
I think he's going to merge the Kingdom with the Undisputed Era.
So you're going to get Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly.
I don't know if
Roderick Strong.
By
the way, Henry, when you refer to Bobby Fish, you refer to Soto's main man, Bobby Fish.
Bobby Fish.
Oh.
So we would get Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and who else? Mike Bennett.
There was 5 individuals, right? I think so. The one against the wall, I think that was Roderick Strong. Now the 2 that took Jay White and kind of like threw him, I think that's Mike Bennett and Taven. Now
Yes,
there was
that's another one.
There was a 4th individual who was just kicking him. I think, yeah, that could be Bobby Fish, or that could be the returning Kyle O'Reilly. Because let's just say, if Adam Cole lied about his injury, he was recently interviewed about, how's Kyle O'Reilly's status? He could have been lying about that too.
So we got to face MJF and heel Adam Cole. That was going to happen.
Yes, absolutely. And after, what was it, all in or all out? I forgot which one was it. There was a backstage segment of Adam Cole talking with MJF, and behind Adam Cole was the devil mask.
I remember that.
It was on Adam Cole's side. So I think, and again, I mentioned AEW love putting in cliffhangers. Yeah, I think it's Adam Cole. Well, I think Adam Cole is somewhat involved, right? Now the person in the devil mask seemed thin, right? Very thin, not bulky. So, and Adam Cole isn't, the strongest guy, right? He's a pretty thin person. Now, again, I was like, all right, what if it's a woman, right? What if they actually paired up Adam Cole with Britt Baker? Or, since Matt Taven and Mike Bennett usually come out with Maria Kanellis, and Maria Kanellis is part of the Kingdom, have it be her. Or that person in the devil mask was just a placeholder until they finally decide who they want to reveal. But honestly, I do feel that Adam Cole is involved with that.
Could be.
And I said he could be one of the 4 attackers, or he could be the one behind the devil mask. But I think fans have to realize what a master manipulator Adam Cole has been, because it is because of Adam Cole that MJF is wrestling on a weekly basis. It is because of Adam Cole that now MJF is doing the handicap match, right? Mm-hmm. I just feel at this point Adam Cole is taking advantage of this so-called friendship with MJF, and that's why I think MJF retains against the Righteous, because I feel like when MJF goes up against Matt Taven and Bennett, that's when he loses the title.
I'm gonna throw a name out there that's also being involved with MJF. As we saw one of the things the other day, Captain Insano shows no mercy.
That man's way too small to be Big Show.
No, it's Captain Insano now. He shows no mercy. You know that movie's legendary. You can't change that.
Wow.
So I can't. So I think AEW. I think they're great.
That would have been spot. That would have been bad if Big Show wore the mask, right?
I wonder who it was. We all know, motherfucker. It's fucking Paul White. What are you doing?
It's like he would be obvious. Him and Mark Henry, you could spot from a mile away.
Yeah,
no.
I just think this is Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, and the Kingdom basically setting up MJF. Like, I think they want people to believe it's MJF, but I don't see that happening. And I think AEW has done a great job with this cliffhanger, because it's storylines like this that brings the most attention. So right now, I really can't wait to see what's next with the storyline.
I'm gonna throw one more thing before we move on. What if it is MJF and he's part of the Kingdom that's remade too? What if?
Whatever it takes to preserve that championship, MJF will do. We've seen that in the past. I say it's MJF.
There's a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions, because it's like, all right, where were the Guns and Juice Robinson when Jay White was being attacked?
Especially after the week prior, it was a big promo after the show backstage with Jay White going through a big ass match. You see Juice and everybody talking all that shit, being all excited. So
yeah,
There's a lot. There's lots to break down. This is like
I just
probably
think we all have to like
2.2
focus
of like
in.
20.
Yeah.
There's a lot to. There's lots to break down.
Yeah, that's why like we have to focus on what happens next because I just feel like within every attack or within every segment they're gonna drop Easter eggs. I feel
Yeah.
the first Easter egg was I think one of the guys was Roderick Strong because it looked like he had a neck brace.
Yeah.
So then I was like, all right, he kind of looks like Roderick Strong, and then the Devil's Mask, and then we saw Adam Cole's interaction with MGF. So, but anyway, on to some Impact news. Sami Callihan appears to be a free agent very, very soon.
Resign.
I don't know. Where do you guys think he's heading up?
I say it's a resign.
I think WWE wants him sort of like as a creative input and different things and whatnot, and also
Does he want to be creative? Or does he want to wrestle?
I don't know if he wants to wrestle anymore. He said he would take a role with WWE if he had some creative input and a whole bunch of different things. He wouldn't mind mentoring wrestlers. He said that in the past.
I think he'll do the independent circuit for a bit, and if WWE were to sign him, I think it's to be either like a producer or to be some sort of creative. I don't think it would be anything wrestling related. I could be wrong.
Could be.
Triple H wants him as a sort of creative input and sort of like a producer. So yeah,
right. You know where he would fit best? NXT.
And he said that Triple H wants him. That was the first name that Triple H said he wants to get is Sami Callihan.
Yeah, and we've seen Sami Callihan's promos, so he's listen. If he's available and he's up for that role,
he would help a lot. Right? He would help a lot of wrestlers with his promo stuff. So
yeah. And the very, very last topic we have on today's show is the matches. Some matches already announced for Bound for Glory, and to be honest with you, I'm pretty excited. So far, 4 matches have been announced. Will Ospreay versus Mike Bailey, which should be an absolute banger. Mm-hmm. We have the Impact X Division Championship match between Chris Sabin and Kenta. The Impact Knockouts World Championship match between Trinity and Mickey James, and the Impact World Championship match between Alex Shelley and Josh Alexander, who never lost the championship in the first place.
Josh Alexander's winning. Will Ospreay's winning for sure.
Well, this is pretty soon to give out our predictions, but the fact that Chris Sabin is X Division champ, the fact that Alex Shelley is world champion, Impact World Championship, we might see Chris Sabin do an option C and cash in. And they're tag team champions, so it makes a lot of sense. So, we'll see what happens, but yeah. A lot of wrestling coming up this way this weekend.
Yeah, a lot. And within the coming weeks.
Yeah. There's so much to keep an eye out for free agents. I mean, listen, you have AEW kind of like the roster. They're vouching for them to sign Ziggler. Where's Mustafa Ali ending up?
They also want independent names too, so don't forget, we got Mercedes contracts going to be up soon with New Japan.
Yeah,
at some point.
And
Mariah, they want to get Mariah May. That's another big name that's out there for them. They're trying to bolster their women's division, AEW. They want to make it a prominent thing. So that's 2 big names to watch out for.
Yeah.
Mercedes Moné on their roster would be a big get for them. Same thing, Mariah May.
There's a lot to unpack when the time comes. So we'll just wait and see and how this goes. A whole lot of time before Mania. And, everything between Mania and the end of the year is going to be intense.
We'll see if there's any more CM Punk references along the way.
Yep.
With Survivor Series around the corner, it's in a month and a half, and it's in Chicago. Listen, I wouldn't be surprised.
6 weeks, baby.
And his contract is up around Survivor Series.
And that's the thing. Everybody's suddenly kind of wanting to bring CM Punk into WWE. And Shawn Michaels
when this happens, I'm going to go to both of you. I said, I told you so. Now let's see if he stays in this time.
Yeah, I mean, you had Shawn Michaels saying, "Oh yeah, you'll be welcome in NXT." Then you had, Henry had mentioned Jade Cargill saying nice words about CM Punk. Then you had Cody, and then you had Cody and Seth kind of both, saying, "Oh, best in the world" kind of references, and it's like,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, love to hate him, but the man's gonna be around. We'll see how that pans out.
that's gonna
But
be, if he signs with WWE, like that's just, to be honest with you, that would be such a major blow to AEW.
hey man, it'd be like that. You knew
Believe it or not,
what you were getting into the moment you signed him. And for everybody else, it goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
If he was so bad, why did it take him so long to get fired from WWE?
So the quote she said before we wrap was CM Punk told her, "Don't be a pushover," and then just basically stay true to who you are. And said the fact that he told me to stand what I believe in and don't be a pushover, and that stuck with me. And she said he's a great guy. So he gave her words of
What has
wisdom.
Punk been doing his entire career? Everywhere he goes. Hey man, I just gotta say. As we wrap things up, can somebody somebody show the link tree, please? As we appreciate everybody tuning in week in and week out. This will be the end of today's episode. Look at all that. Look at the love. Look what we see. I see Spotify. I see Apple, YouTube, Instagram, Threads. Soto calls it X. I call it Twitter. We got TikTok, Facebook, Twitch, Discord. You can even email us. You could tune us. You could tune into us anytime, anywhere you want. You want to see Soto's pretty face? Go on Twitter. You want to see Henry's pretty face? You go on YouTube. My Ugly Mug, go on Instagram. Yo, it don't matter, bro. We're everywhere. If you want to check us out on live on video, we're on YouTube. We're on Twitter /X, TikTok, Facebook. If you can't see us and you want to hear us, we're on Spotify, Google, almost every podcast platform possible. So from said Spotify and Apple to Radio Public to Pocket Cast to everything but Westwood One, we are there. If you guys want to create your own podcast the way we have with Sunset Flip, where Henry has with Senpai Says, all you have to do is go on this one app we use, was formerly known as Anchor, now known as Podcasters. They have collabed with Spotify. It's free and easy. All you need to do is use your email to sign up, and away you go. If you want to promote the way we promote, we use StreamYard. Shout out to StreamYard. For a small nominal fee per month, you will be able to promote wherever you want to promote. The more you want to go, the more you pay, obviously. And it's actually, honestly, it's probably the easiest thing possible. If you want to join everybody to do your own podcast themselves, go on Zoom. Same thing, small nominal fee, and you're good to go. Look at that. Someone put the Price is Right theme song on. You know what I'm saying? Just showing everything perfectly through. It's lovely. It's lovely. So, college football starts in 20 minutes. My Lions won on Thursday. You know what I'm saying? Do the Jets beat the Chiefs on Sunday night?
No.
Do the Seahawks beat the Giants on Monday night?
I'm a Jet fan, and I say absolutely, positively, hell to the no.
Let's go MILF Hunter. Okay, so I'm wrong. It's Cougar season now. You know what I'm saying? Although I think the Taylor Swift effect is going to go crazy in
it's a big day for sports. You have college football. You have
USC by 40.
We have wrestling.
You have WWE No Mercy. I think today's the Canal fight too.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit going on today.
There's a lot of stuff going.
Yeah, man.
Too much. Tomorrow AEW Dream.
Last couple of games of baseball season are coming up. We're getting ready to
nice double header. Yo, actually, before you out of here,
basketball season.
What's up with Rodon for the Yankees?
He's hurt. I'm gonna just leave it at that. He's hurt.
Is he hurt? Because he's playing like a bum. He didn't get one out in the first yesterday. I thought Rodon was nice. He was nice last year.
Yankees medical staff needs to be fired.
This is a wrestling podcast, so we don't talk about that.
You seem flustered.
So does a Yankee fan just like me, so we get it.
And then Mets World Series 2024. So all right, fellas.
Okay.
Solo's reaction, his eyes went, yeah, okay.
All right, fellas. I'll talk to y'all later. Till next time.
Laters.
Later.